All right, so let's actually get down to using an adhesive. In this video right here, I'm gonna show you how to tape up a hair system that you have cut and you are ready to install on your head. We're gonna be using tape today as opposed to a liquid adhesive. Now, let's talk for a second about tape adhesive, why you might want to use tape, some of the pros, some of the cons. So I personally love tape and use tape every single time. The reason for me using tape is this. I prefer tape because a tape adhesive seems to hold much better for me in high heat and doing a lot of exercise. The fact that it's bonded onto this actual tape seems to keep it in place, and I never get any leakage. I never get any glue that's coming down my forehead. I've experienced that before on some of my liquid adhesive bonds that I've done before. I've never had that problem with a tape adhesive. It holds very well and it holds for a longer period of time on my scalp. One of the disadvantages, one of the things that people don't like about tape though, is it's not quite as imperceivable as a liquid adhesive. It's a little bit thicker. And at the front hairline, when you're trying to get a absolutely believable look, that small distance that the tape kind of elevates the hair system off your head can be perceivable to some. I also think that the beauty about tape is that it's very, very easy to maintain, to remove, and to put back on again. You can do it really in minutes. And it doesn't necessarily take a long time to do a liquid adhesive, but it does require a little bit more work and a little bit more cleanup on the back end. And you'll see what I mean as we kind of go through this application of tape right here. You'll see how incredibly easy it is. So this unit right here that I've got, this right here is actually one of my old units that we're going to be using. And it's notable though that when you get a new hair system, you always want to clean the base. You want to wash it down with isopropyl alcohol and then a dish detergent like a soap. And the reason for this is because often a hair system coming from a factory will have a silicone coating on it, which will make it nearly impossible for any tape or any adhesive to stick to it. If you try to stick it to it, it will not really bond to your hair system, and the adhesive will fail. I've actually had this happen to me before when I did not know this, and it's not a fun experience. I went to go get my hair cut and the hair system kept pulling up. Not a big deal, and it was an easy fix. It just had to wash down the base, and that solved the problem. So generally with taping, I use two different types of tape just to simplify the procedure of using tape on a hair system. I use a roll of tape, and then I use actual contoured shaped tape strips. Now these are really great for adapting to a hairline that you have, or moving through the rounded parts of your hair system, such as the front hairline or in the very, very back, as opposed to using a straight roll of tape. You can do it with a straight roll of tape, but you can save yourself many, many minutes by just using some contoured tape like this. You'll see that I'm going to use a combination of tapes as I tape up this unit, and you can do the same, or you can just use regular rolls of tape. There's no wrong way to do this, but let's jump right in there, shall we? Okay, so here we go. We have our hair system right here, and we have tape. We have another tape right here. Many different types of tape. Now, what I like to do, because I have this CC contour shape here in the front, I like to use these tapes right here. Now, tapes do come in specific contours. They come in a CC contour, they come in a AA contour, and these are all designed to just make it so much easier on your life. Now, just to show you what I'm doing to make it really easy, I am basically just going to match up this piece of tape to the exterior of the hairline right here, and I'm just gonna plonk it down like that. And I'm gonna gently push down into it, just so that way it sticks a little bit more. Okay, now it's okay if you have a little bit of the tape that kind of comes up. I'm gonna leave it like this right here. I peeled up a little bit, and you'll see why I'm doing that in a second. I'm gonna use a second tape right here. So we're gonna peel it. And I am about to apply another piece of tape in this general area. Now, it is not a big deal if you get a little bit of hair stuck underneath your tape. Not a big deal whatsoever. And it's actually not a big deal if you misplace the tape like I did. You can peel it up. Now, if you do get a little bit of hair stuck underneath your tape, all you have to really do is use some isopropyl alcohol. Spray some isopropyl alcohol on the tape itself, and you will be able to pull out some hair. You can also readjust it. All of these sorts of things become possible with isopropyl alcohol. Let's move a little bit to the side of the unit that we see right here. For this right here, you're going to see me use some tape, okay? And the reason I'm gonna be using tape is because this is a long, straight shot right here. But here's the thing. With this tape, you'll see right here, I kind of have a bit of a corner right here. So I basically take some scissors and I just make an incision in the tape. And I slightly bend it to the curvature of my template. So if you have a template that has some bends in it, this is all you have to do is you just take some scissors and you snip it. Now you might have noticed what I'm doing right now is I'm making my way around the entire unit. The reason that I do this is because with tape, you really don't need a whole lot. You may think that you need to tape up the whole unit to keep it down and on your head, but this tape on the exterior method works beautifully, and it will keep your hair system down and locked in for a long period of time. If you can, it's much easier to put tape or even a liquid adhesive on a poly membrane and get it off than it is on a lace. It's a little bit tougher and more time consuming to get it off of lace. So anytime I can save myself just more time and make it easier on myself, I'm going to do that. So here we are, we're now in the back, right? And it looks like we have tape on both sides. So this right here, I'm just gonna peel up the ends of the tape. And the reason that I do this is because I am about to overlap some of the tape. I'm about to overlap some of the tape. Now that we have this right here, I have a little bit more tape that I'm about to lay down. So what I like to do when I'm doing this is, it doesn't have to be on the very, very edge. It's okay if there's a little bit of space in between the edge and your actual tape right here. It's okay, especially in the back. In the back, not as important because this is gonna blend in so easily with your natural hair that it's not gonna be an issue. Now look right here. Can you see that little bit of tape that went over? All I have to do to correct this is spray a little bit of alcohol, and the hair will release from the tape like so. And I just folded it back over onto the poly. Not a big deal, nothing to worry about. One of the biggest things that you're gonna have to contend with in this thing about hair systems right here is not freaking out. It can be really stressful, feel like you're messing up your hair system or that something has gone wrong if you don't stay calm. And this is the number one thing I see with people who are beginners, is that they just tend to freak out a little bit, and we don't want that. So once again, we see right now that the tape has folded over into the hair. We'll get the hair out of the way. There we go. Sorry, it's tough to see, I know. But now we have the tape folded back onto the hair system. So now that we actually have this unit taped up, we can actually take all of the backing lining tape off. And it is as simple as 1, 2, 3. We've removed all of the backing tape. We have tape all along the exterior right here. Everything is good to go. And this is such an easy way to apply a hair system to your head. It took me only a couple minutes to put tape all around this right here. And then as long as your head is clean and prepared, that's really all there is to it. The next step is to just put it on your head. And I can show you how to do that. We'll show you how to do that in another video. But this right here is not complicated at all, guys. Totally recommend tape for anybody who is a beginner and someone who is really looking for an easy, fast, and very, very practical way to apply a hair system. I think this is something that everybody should give a try unless you absolutely want that 100% believable look. There's also a lot less maintenance with tape. With tape, I will go 10 to 14 days, and remember, I live in a very, very hot, very humid environment where I sweat a lot. I can go 10 to 14 days easily without any reinstalls and have zero problems, and it's still quite adhered to my head. So this is why I like tape a lot, and why I recommend most people try to actually use tape as they get going.